Hello everybody, good evening everyone. Welcome to Lode Late Night. I hope you're doing amazing. Grab a drink. I already got one from Jim. You will meet him in a moment. He made me a very, very heavy gin tonic. So let's see how that will go. We have to say it's an amazing time today. Who would have ever thought that we would have our Thirsty Thursday online? Usually it's an offline event where we meet each other in real life. We cannot have a drink together. And it's sad that we cannot see each other right now, but there's one big advantage actually, because we don't have to smell each other's sushi breath. That's a big advantage. And here we are live from our new hub in Antwerp, which by the way looks like this. So yeah, it's a new stuff. It's a totally new, but our hub in Antwerp actually, it used to look like this. And this was actually corona-proof avant la lettre, because you had a lot of ventilation in that building, but later on they made something else out of it. And in the future, actually, the tower will look like this. It will be the Huts Tower, yeah? I think he got his inspiration from somewhere. So you're definitely an original, an OG, if you recognize these pictures and if you recognize the old tower, because everything started, of course, in the old tower started at KBC, the KBC Tower in Antwerp. And today we are alive and kicking in 6 locations in Belgium, but also 2 in Hungary. We have 1 in the Czech Republic, and we have actually also 1 in New York. So what we're doing tonight is we're going to bring our alumni, we're going to bring mentors, experts, partners, and our OGs, our original gangsters, together with the newest wave of startups. So you will meet some new startups today. And I'm not going to do this on my own, of course not. As every great talk show, we actually have a sidekick, a co-host, co-stars, but we're not like everyone, so we actually have 2. And so let me introduce you to our own stars, our own Statler and Waldorf, the amazing, the talented Jim and Johnny.
Hello, good evening. I'm Jim. I'm a community manager from Antwerp.
And I'm Johnny, academy manager, also in Antwerp.
So welcome, and I would like to say that if you have any questions, just put them in the chat, and we will select them and give them to the panel.
Or ignore them.
Or ignore them, indeed. Yeah. So now let's introduce you the two first guests. We have Dieter from CityCubes and Geert from Noman Technics.
How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing today?
Very well, thank you. I'm feeling blessed. I'm called an original gangster. Never heard that before. So happy to be here.
Yeah. We used to call you the Tower Birds, but that's a bit, yeah. Well,
That's 6 years ago.
somebody else used a name with bird in it. So we're gonna go to original gangster right now. It sounds more good. So you're the director of Nomen Technics. You
Correct.
are actually very new
Also
to start
correct.
it. Yeah. So we're gonna go back with our guest. We're gonna go back to the beginning. Of course, the pitch. So I'm going to give 60 minutes to each of you. 60 seconds. What am I saying? 60 seconds. Yeah, 60 seconds to each of you. You're going to see that on the clock on the television. And you can use those 60 seconds to introduce yourself and to introduce your company to the viewers at home. So they actually know who you are and what you're doing. But let me first introduce you to a very special guest. It's our timekeeper. And I think that Dieter will recognize this.
Definitely.
Yeah. Say hello to my new friend. So yeah, it's a nice one. It's actually signed by Gary V for the people who know that.
It's an old souvenir.
It's an old souvenir. Dieter actually built it. No, we're not gonna.
With my own hands.
With your probably. So no, we're not gonna use that. We're super founder friendly, as you know. But it's maybe we can talk about that a little bit later.
Pleasure.
So first up, we're gonna go with Geert. So the 60 seconds will appear on the screen. Go.
Hello, I'm Geert Naukens from Nomen Technics. Did you know that most of us spend up to 80% of our time indoors? Indoor air often contains harmful pathogens, such as fine dust particles, bacteria, viruses, COVID-19. These harmful pathogens travel throughout the building, where they are either inhaled or fall down on the surface, where they remain contagious and dangerous. We at Nomen Technics are all about tackling these two problems: bad indoor air quality and surface contamination. To do this, we have developed UVC state-of-the-art systems that can disinfect air and surfaces. And apart from that, we also offer a surface coating spray that not only disinfects, but protects surfaces and materials for up to 30 days or a month. So if you're interested, please reach out and we can see how we can help you.
Nice one.
Thank you.
We have trained you well, my young Padawan. Second one.
Don't say that. I didn't train this one. It's been a while I've been doing this.
Well, second one, 60.
Yeah.
Well, go.
So that was the new generation very fluently. I'm Dieter from CityCubes. I'm the founder and creative director. 6 years ago, I started this company. It's a brand activation company. And what do? We create opportunities to connect consumers with brands. 6 years ago, we looked for a lot of empty stores all over Belgium that we could, in which we could create, experiences where consumers met with the brands. We did it for Samsung, for Tomorrowland, for Tesla, and lots of brands these days. Nowadays it's hard because Corona kicked in and pop-ups and events are closed. So we look for new opportunities to create platforms for these brands. We've been doing this with Smile Safari. It's an Instagram museum in Brussels, the biggest one in Europe. We're working together with Studio 100 to create experiences for them. And as my partner here, we're also creating disinfection technology all over the world, and happy to talk more about this later. Brilliant.
Wow.
Great. Nice. Proficiat.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Trained.
So yeah, you're trained. I know. So when when we Googled Nomen Technics, actually a few pictures popped up.
All right.
So they look a bit like gadgets from the Matrix or from Back to the Future, actually.
Tron.
So, yeah, or Tron. Yeah. So we could look at one. So this is a very crazy thing, or another one. So explain, what are these?
So you're looking at our first product. That's called the ViewMaster. The ViewMaster is really focused on disinfection professionals. So it's a mobile device that you can move around, evidently, and that you can place in any room where you can disinfect the surface of that room. So as you can see, the neon lights, as it seems, that is UVC technology. It's perfectly safe to use, but persons and animals cannot be in the room while the disinfection is going on. So that's why we equipped it with state-of-the-art sensors and also our own developed touchscreen The operator selects how long he wants to use or how long the disinfection needs to be going on. He presses start, and the machine will only start disinfecting once it detects that the room is clear.
So actually, you were then you're founded in April, right?
May actually.
May.
Yeah.
So only a few months ago, in total crisis, the pandemic. So what were you thinking? Do you want to be a part of the solution already? Did you think about that? How did you get the idea?
So actually, we started conceptualizing. I think about 13 months ago, and I myself I had in my head that we could take easily 12 months, to get things going. And then I think December, January, we started hearing things about the corona epidemic, and I thought to myself, shit, we have to move a bit faster. So we started working at triple the speed we were working. And in that sense, I know it's a bit difficult to say, but in that sense, I am a bit grateful for the corona epidemic, because it pushed us to work harder and to get our products there on the market faster.
Yeah. We also see that some startups actually benefit, and they see opportunities and they jump on it. Actually, you did too.
Yeah.
You didn't sit still, because we have some pictures too.
Curious. Yep. No, it's really funny to bring us together, because I know a lot about the UVC technology. We created another technology. It's a dry mist technology, which in fact, I think you were one of the first in the news with technology about disinfectioning, thanks to Carrefour, one of our bigger clients. They asked us to find a solution, and we came up with a container. That day, we were in Brussels, close to the European Parliament, and national and international press was over there. And the day after, I think we received over 500, 600 emails, calls from all over the world, and everybody was interested. And it's what you say, every crisis is an opportunity. So we knew that we weren't going to work on Tomorrowland or Pukkelpop or Werchter, so we thought, okay, let's take this with our both hands, and then maybe we hit the golden unicorn.
Yeah, well, for the people that watch at home, actually, Dieter is one of our original gangsters. He pitched that started during the first pitch day ever.
Correct.
Actually, ever.
Yeah.
And we found a clip from
fuck.
back then. Let's take a look.
I didn't pass that one. Oh.
Ja, absoluut. De reden dat we staan is uiteraard de professionele begeleiding. We krijgen heel vaak ook de vraag of we kapitaal nodig hebben, of dat we daar bepaalde financiële...
My vest isn't correct.
Dat is absoluut niet nodig. Als we naar de toekomst gaan kijken, dat we nodig hebben. En we hebben een heel leuk verhaal dat heel veel bedrijven de deur laten opengaan. Maar ja, we zoeken nog nieuwe klanten en nieuwe platformen waar we ons verhaal kunnen brengen. En dat is denk ik iets wat Startid zeker vast kan aanleveren.
Okay, and now I know why I didn't pass. I came back because I didn't pass this one, and I came back and I went on my knees and asked Kronos and Lode and his team, please let me in because I really need this, but my pitch was even worse than now. So thank you for giving me the chance, even after that.
Yeah, but you look great, and you still do. You actually didn't change anything. You had some mold
and some extra kilos, but
some
for the
extra
rest,
kilos. Who hasn't?
it's Corona.
But back then you were alone. Then at the 13th floor.
13th floor.
Oh! Do we have a question?
So as the academy manager, I have to say, this is why we force you all to do 60-second pitches every time we see you. Just out there, just...
Yeah.
Don't use
body
these
language,
visuals.
Dieter?
Yep, and even my clothing, so it fuck.
Oh yeah, I didn't want to start about that.
Nope, but now I know I didn't pass because I asked an evaluation, but it was quite short. Yeah, the idea wasn't that good, but now I understand much better.
Yeah, and you were alone.
Yep.
You were alone at the 13th. So
Yep.
how many people is your team now?
We were just in February with 16, but of course due to Corona we needed to let some people go, so we went back to 12. But thanks to like 4 new businesses that we created right now, we have a lot of 4 new businesses. We have a lot of new people working for us, and we hired also 2 new people. So
You hired. Yeah, I heard.
Yeah.
So you hired 2 people during
Yeah.
the COVID.
Yeah.
That's exceptional.
Yeah.
And so, but how is this possible? Because you say about 4 new businesses. Is that
Well, from the day we heard about Corona, we know that everything needed to shut down. We were already immediately thinking of new opportunities, and we're working in a creative sector, so it's good that you have every day new ideas and new visions. So we looked for other opportunities. The disinfecting stuff that we're also doing, it's not my business. I'm not a science guy. I'm not reading journals about medicines and everything. So we looked for somebody new. It's Fred, who is an engineer and know much more about this stuff. Then we hired also somebody new, an innovation manager, because we knew that we need to rethink our business. We need to look at 2021, how we can find new business and how can we convince clients to work with us. And then some mature people who are willing to work and who see opportunities in everything. So there's a big market right now with a lot of talented people who aren't working, looking for new opportunities. So it's a big chance to find them right now, and you can hire them quite fast right now.
Yeah, true. You are expanding your team as well?
At the moment, we're not yet looking for people, but evidently, as we are growing, I hope we continue to grow, and that will make it possible for us to expand the team. Yeah. But now we're still focused on being sustainable in business-wise, that we generate enough revenue to be profitable. And once we get to that level, we'll expand our team.
But what I was wondering, building those products is one thing, right? You actually wrote a book about go-to-market then and marketing. And,
correct.
So you didn't bring it, so the viewers can show. So
I thought you bought it already. No,
of course,
it's a free gift that Started gives to every startups right now. No.
Yeah, okay.
And the commercial one.
The commercial one. Yeah, but like building the product is one thing, right? Finding the customers is another. Yeah, finding the customers is another. So building it. But how are you going to? So who are the companies that actually buy your products? Maybe you can go first, and then how do you market a product like this in these times?
It's a very good question. It depends a little bit. I told you a little bit about our air solutions for air disinfection. We have a plug-and-play device also, and for that the market is really broad. And now I told you as well, Corona was in some sense an opportunity, but it goes both ways, because now at the moment we see lots of businesses that we think, okay, here's an opportunity, but you call them up and they say, okay, there's nobody here. What's the use? So at this time, we focus for our plug-and-play device. I'm just singling that one out. We focus mainly on essential services. So that's a notary office, a lawyer, even some car repair shops, and also doctors for their waiting rooms. There are opportunities. So that's, for the moment, that's our focus. Yeah, but once it opens up, we widen as well.
Yeah. And you? How do you market?
I know how hard his business is doing right now, because Belgium is a very difficult market because there are a lot of government laws and you can't do everything. We had the luck that a partner in the UK found us quite fast. He believed in the concept and he said, let's bring the concept also to the UK. He had a friend in the USA, said, look, very interesting. We went to the USA. And then there was a post on Facebook of Flanders Investment and Trade that said, look, in Singapore, the airport is looking for an opportunity or for a solution how they can handle luggage. We mailed them, and we received like 4 hours later an email from Dirk. And Dirk was the CEO of DNATA. DNATA is a sister company of Emirates. And Dirk is from Werchter. And I love Rock Werchter.
Dirk or Dirk?
Yeah, we say Dirk. It's Dirk. It's gewoon Dirk.
Okay,
but everybody calls him Dirk over there. So doors went open. They said, look, these Belgian guys, we believe in them. Let's bring this concept over here. So we started in Singapore, working in Australia and New Zealand. And DNATA is a partner of Emirates. And Emirates invested right now in this company. So this opened doors all over the world.
And you just said that you work for Studio 100 as well. So, but something special in marketing?
Yeah.
So what are you doing there?
Well, it's quite a funny story how this started. Like 6 months ago, I became father. And the day I was in the hospital, I received, my son was born for 2 days. I was in the hospital and I received a phone call from a number I didn't know. It was from Gert from Network Ondernemen, and said, look, you won the competition of pitching for a CEO. And tomorrow you need to go to Hans Bougelon. I said, fuck, I'm in a hospital, I have a corona haircut. I didn't slept. Okay, I'm going there and we'll see what happens. So I was there. I presented them our idea of Smile Safari and of City Cubes. I said, look, really cool. Corona is kicking in and we're looking for somebody creative who can help us with our shows. So we created kind of immersive advertising right now. So everybody who enters the shows of Studio 100 needs to pass a very big hallway in which we project videos of brands. But it's like an immersive experience you get in a museum that you see everywhere in the world right now. And we connected this with brands, and that's the new thing that we're launching in February when the show is open again.
Great. And what's next for you guys?
So for us, it's now we're focused on sales, and we're hoping that we can expand because as Dieter already said, Belgium is not the most easy market,
Nope.
but it's a great test. So I think once we get it down here, we'll try to expand it. We have a little bit of an opening already in the Netherlands, but of course we want to conquer the world, you know.
Yeah, I think there's actually we have a picture of. I think a place that needs cleaning.
That's the Noman Technics team.
Well, it smells. There's a smell of bullshit in that place. I think it needs cleaning. So we have to go to the. To what? A question? Okay, there's a question from the audience.
Yes, so we have a question from the audience. Given that you have both changed your business model for Corona, how much would you recommend to other founders? What should they consider when looking at your example?
The thing is, thanks to Corona, I say thanks to Corona, every person you mail or call, they answer. Because all business stopped, and I emailed every politician, I emailed every virologist, I emailed every CEO of the company, a big company, and they all emailed back, except of Mark van Ranst, he didn't email back, but all the rest emailed back. And there's a very good website, it's called Email Addresses of CEOs All Over the World. You find all their email addresses over there, and you just email them, and believe me, in these days, if you have a good idea, and if you're positive, they answer.
That's a very great answer.
Yeah.
No, I guess.
Works.
Yeah, I guess staying positive, exactly, and just seeing that. I'm thinking about. I don't know who said it. Never waste a good crisis.
Churchill.
Churchill. Yeah. So I guess you can take that as advice.
Yeah.
It's not because it may be looking bleak, but if you look at it from another angle, there might be an opportunity.
Yeah. Jim and Johnny, we have another question.
Yes, actually we do have. There was a question for Dieter coming in.
From an old-time friend, Dirk. What is your greatest or most crazy memory of a Thursday?
I was drunk and fell asleep in the elevator or something. No, there are so much nice memories over here. From everything. I think everything started over here. The network you built over here, the ideas you built over here, the events we did. I received a lot of support from Started with first events, first fairs, first baseball bets I could build.
That was a funny evening. With
that
Gary
was a
V.
really funny evening, yeah. Gary V, the hero.
But he was so small, he couldn't even, I think, reach the piñata that we built.
Yep, we needed to lower it. No, it's the connections we have with everybody, and yeah, it lasts forever.
Yeah, so in that, you also said like you got these referrals from other people, and that's how you reached like these amazing opportunities.
Yeah.
With you sitting against the new generation, and you've benefited from the Started community. What is your advice to for the younger startups to get the most out of the Started community?
Be at every event, and I was here. It's been really months and years ago. I was here sitting eating pizza again like years ago, and I shared my visitekaartje. I don't know this one in English.
Your visiting
my
card,
business card, of course. Damn, we're already 3 people here. So yeah, we're definitely gonna connect, and we see what's gonna happen. So get out there, and what I'm doing here, sitting on stage and presenting my story, people will call me or email me, and that's the big force of Started, the giant network there is. And there isn't another one as big as this one and as professional as this one. and crazy as this one.
Damn, you're good. You're good.
Well
Bombs
said. Well
being
said.
dropped. Now you're gonna sell my books.
Okay. Yeah, at least one. So
okay.
thank you both. I think we have to go. We have to wrap up and go prepare for the next guest. Super merci, both of you.
Thank you for having us.
And all
Thank
the
you.
best. And we'll have some cold pizza in
Oh,
in an
fantastic.
hour.
And gin
All right.
tonic.
Thanks.
Thank you, Lode.
Thank you.
You. Great, maar
Wonderful, wonderful.
That went very well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Now it's our turn, so
Indeed, indeed.
we'll see what happens.
Dirk was dat?
You know, Dirk Lievens.
Zalig.
Ja, zalig zegt hij, Dirk, zalig. Guess his memory of you must have faded.
Well, I see that Julie is already having some gin tonic.
Yeah?
Actually, I would like one too as well.
I already ordered one. It's on the way. So
Okay, nice, nice.
So I really like. Oh wait. Yeah.
We have some new furniture coming in. So
Oh, yeah?
yes, please.
Ah,
come
please,
ahead.
please share it.
Thank you.
Is this a hat?
It's a
No. You know, a little fun fact about Geert from No Man Technic. So they sell these air sanitizers, and it's all about having a healthy environment.
Yes.
And then during the OKR meeting today,
yes.
guess what he was doing?
He was smoking.
He was smoking.
Really?
Yeah. Such a hypocrite. But a very good businessman. Yeah, and I also like that Dieter, he basically volunteered to give a workshop on marketing.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you hear that as well?
Yeah,
I
indeed,
heard that,
indeed.
yeah.
But I would prefer doing marketing instead of pitching. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. My God. And his hands,
Yeah. That was the best one. Yeah.
so silly.
All right.
More? Oh no.
We're good to go, I think.
Yeah.
So we have two new for you ready at this moment. So let's welcome EcoBirdie and Vegified on sustainability and new materials.
Yes, they just told me I had to put my mic to my face more closely, but this is not going so well. So this is okay? Yes, thank you very much. So welcome Snea, welcome Vanessa.
Thank you.
So let's get into sustainability and into new materials and sustainable materials. Vanessa, you're the co-founder of EcoBirdie.
Yes.
So we're going to do the 60 seconds again. So tell us, I'm going to give you 60 seconds to pitch yourself, your company,
Okay.
to the outside world,
Okay.
which is big.
I will mainly pitch the
Thousands
company.
of viewers right now. No,
Okay.
not to give you any stress.
Honestly.
We're on, go!
So I'm Vanessa. I'm the designer and co-founder of EcoBirdie. EcoBirdie is in the business of redesigning plastic waste. We transform waste into high-quality products. Our first collection of kids' furniture is made with recycled plastic toys. Okay. We made it with recycled plastic toys, and we created not only the aesthetic of the furniture, but the entire system from collecting and recycling old plastic toys to producing the physical furniture pieces with our own special formula. And this collection, including the Rhino lamp, has won 6 international design awards for the excellent design and innovation. So EcoBody is locally made, environmental and social responsible, and it's a good company for good.
Great. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, but maybe we could bring the rhino over.
Yeah.
Yeah, Waldorf will bring it. Yeah, we can put it here on the table. It's actually beautiful. There's a light in it. It is like red, shiny.
It's a lamp, so it's a light. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great, great object. Like
Thank
I have
you.
an architectural background myself, so I can
So,
actually
that's good.
appreciate beautiful design.
Thank
like
you.
we say. So, Snea, you're an advocate of sustainability in a totally different field in food, yeah, right?
Yes.
So, what is Vegified? And your 60 seconds start now.
All right, it's short. But Vegified is basically a global discovery platform for vegetarians and vegans all over the world. We are in about 350 cities. We started with a small dream, and now it's literally a global community of hundreds of thousands of people all over the world that contribute and recommend to each other restaurants, products, experiences, and awesome things that people can experience in these cities as vegetarians and vegans. World over, veganism is now caught up for health reasons, planet sustainability, animal welfare, and in context of this, like, it was absolutely essential that a company like Vegified brings these people together and makes life for them awesome, not just a compromise on food or, not just a mundane or difficult lifestyle. So yeah, we're on a mission to be the Google for vegetarians all over the world.
Great job, both of you. So, Vanessa, first question for you.
Yes.
Where does the idea come from, actually?
I think firstly it will go back to where I come from. So I was born in a small island, it's Taiwan. So it's a subtropical island. The land is about the size of Belgium, but the population is double.
Really?
So since I was a child, I be told like the resources are limited. So it's often in summer we don't have water and electricity in the night. I think the idea of how precious is our planet of resources was already defined from that time. And and then I grew up and I started my design career in Milan, and there was a time I worked for fashion. And there is a lot of, it's very competitive, and we need to change the design every 4 months. And I've moved to Belgium, and I have a shared office in Kloosterstad. So if you live in Kloosterstad, it's a street full of antique and vintage stores. And there's a time I pass by every day. I really enjoy to see the classic designs from the 20th centuries, and I'm really moved by seeing them. And I also was thinking about why I should make something new if all these old design already exist and they are still very beautiful. So I think that time I had the idea, if we have to do something, I can decide what I'm going to design, and that must be something meaningful.
And how did the environment react? How did the family, the friends, how did they react to the idea? I'm gonna change the world.
Good, not much, but good.
They were
Positive.
supportive.
Yes, I think.
Yeah, well, you, Sneha, you had a bit an experience on the idea, where did it come from, and how.
So I think initially there were a lot of challenges because the ambition was always global, and sort of restricting it or channelizing it in a way that we can successfully capture a large part of the vegetarian or vegan market globally was quite a huge task or challenge. Mm-hmm. But having said that, I think just the community in Belgium, or just being from here and having all you guys always being super supportive, making connections wherever else in the world was required, was absolutely game changing. So I'm really grateful for that.
And how do you both experience Antwerp as a startup city? Because you have like an international view on it. How do you experience, you've been to Milan, so how do you experience Antwerp, like the city? Because they tend to say about themselves that they're the center of the universe and like all the rest is a place to park your car. How do you look at that?
How do I put this? So, I mean, how do I say this delicately? I have to be honest. There is some advantages of being a part of a society or a city or a community that really rewards new ideas and innovation, and you're heard and seen very easily, which I think is a huge advantage. Like being in any other larger city, you're a small fish in a big pond, and perhaps thousands of people and thousands of ideas are just thrown around, perhaps some good ones killed. So I think belonging to a place like this where you can be seen, be heard, give your idea a fair shot is a fairly great advantage.
How do you look at it?
I'm very positive for Antwerp being a city for startups. Antwerp is very small. I mean, if you compare with New York, London, Tokyo, Antwerp is small. But in the same time, we have really many creativity. You see in the fashion, we have really the top class fashion designers here. We have Dries van Noten, we have Andermann-Mister, we have Stefan Schneider. If you see architect, we have Vincent van Duysen, we have Axel Vervaux. If you see artists, we have Luc Duymans, we have Paul van Huydel. They are all the top. They are all the top class in their creativity sectors. And if you see how small is a city and you see how many creativities, and I think the scale is amazing. And I honestly don't know if there will be another city comparable with Antwerp in these terms.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna love that.
No, but I mean, it's very small, but if you see the density of creativity, I think it's about the quality and it's not about the quantity.
Yeah, true.
So at least part, I sincerely think Antwerp is a very good place for creativity.
So you're never gonna leave. You're never gonna leave it.
You never know what future brings you, but
yeah. Okay, great. You work in the food industry, which is a sector that is sometimes under scrutiny a lot, of course. So how do you see what would be needed to change that industry?
I think it's in the scheme of the business world, I think it's time for food tech 2.0, where a lot of the companies, the bloodbath in food tech has been around food delivery, food, distribution, etc. But I think more now, and I'm not saying this, of course, because I do Vegified. It's perhaps more from the research that's come from the community and the response that I've had. I've learned that people want a solution for their lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like people don't want to receive a business model. And as the world evolves and as people make different food choices driven by either sustainability, their care for the planet, or their care for the ethics around this, they're making very, very different choices. Today, for example, the greenhouse gases that are emitted by animal agriculture are higher than all the world's transportation put together, right? And so it plays such a huge role in sustainability and choices that millennials and Gen Z will make. So I think specific lifestyles will have to be met more than just business models of delivery and distribution, which I think is the future.
And what will the future then for you bring? Because Corona hit the food sector, the horeca and the restaurants very hard. So how will you take on your business in 2021?
So that's a great question. Actually, it was a huge hit for us because, like I said, we were spread across the world. Our audience was spread across the world, and we were relying on the fact that people travel and they eat at restaurants. Both of those industries in the foreseeable future were non-existent, and they still are. The only choice we were left with was to pivot. And again, I think at the point where, somewhere midway into the pandemic, when I'd had Corona myself, and, it was past me, I just realized, like, I can't let the community that we've built down. There are these people, and for whatever reason, they are also confined to their house, just like I am. But they're still cooking and they're still doing different things. So we started pivoting towards giving people solutions for what they do in their home, creating content around what recipes they can make, where they can get the products, started, getting those product collaborations, getting them good prices. So I think that pivot was very required, and I think it's made our model a little bit more robust. Actually, I have a lot more hope for it.
Yeah.
Now, so it was kind of a blessing in disguise. It gave us a chance to, move away from that global travel, Horeca sort of thing to a more local, sustainable model that our community actually uses
and actually needs right now.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. And you, what will 2021 bring? Hopefully more crazy good designs like these.
Yes, there will be. So we will make the furniture for the grown-ups. So for normal size people, not for small human being. And we also have a B2B business plan. So where we will cooperate with large commercial companies and brands, and to improve their recycle their waste, and we will. We hope we can help them to reach the full circularity, and optimally this should bring a positive impact on our environment and the planet. So recycle more and make beautiful products more.
So just say, where can we buy your products?
So it's www.ecobirdy.com. So you can buy online. We normally ship in 3 days, and we ship by UPS, and we'll send you the tracking number, and it's really safe, and you will receive them very soon. Oh, and now, because tomorrow is a special Friday, and so we do have some, but we are not encourage people to spend too much on Black Friday, but we do constantly have some discount on our website, so if you're interested, you should take a chance.
Great. And you? Where can we find you and the recipes online of all those people cooking for each other?
So currently, all our content is on Facebook, Instagram, and a website. But 2021, we're launching our app. So everybody who is veg, vegan, curious, guys, we don't just eat fries and we just don't eat salad. So come and check it out, and you'll have tons of opportunities to make an impact. So 2021 for our app launch. Yeah.
Super. Thank you both for being here, for finding Antwerp and started such a marvelous place to be. We hope you stick around for a long time. And we're going to go back to Jim and Johnny.
Fantastic. It was super to see these awesome entrepreneurs. We didn't get the
Thank you,
chance.
ladies.
Thank you. Goodbye. We're just saying it for the camera.
Yeah. Okay, they're gone. Now we can be honest.
Yeah, now we can be honest. So yeah, no. I think also Jan van der Rijk, he had a question. So sorry, we will answer it later. Vegan chocolate.
Thank
Ta-ta.
you.
It's good to be the co-host.
Vegified. Yeah. Woo.
Yes.
Nice.
So I agree with Jan. People want a solution for their lifestyle and not a business model. I think very nicely put.
Great quote.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm writing it down and integrating it into the academy.
I think it's something from Wisdom Wednesday.
It could be. Magali, if you're listening.
Yeah, Magali, we have work for you.
More. So yeah, a lot of interesting questions that come up.
Yeah.
How do you scale a community?
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, difficult.
Yeah.
Well, we spent hours because Snea from Vegified was actually one of my startups that I coached in a year or something. And I remember long nights where we spent hours and hours trying to figure out like how does this business model work, and on the whiteboard everything works and nothing works at the same time. But I'm glad to see that she found a way.
Yeah.
So fantastic. Just keep on pushing.
Wow,
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. I also saw a question about someone who was looking for the best location for a veggie takeaway in Antwerp. I don't know if you have any suggestions. I know one. There is one really good one. It's Camion. It's in the Paleisstraat, and I really love that one. Yeah.
So McDonald's doesn't count.
McDonald's doesn't count, no. The veggie salad of McDonald's doesn't count. Wait, she's whispering something? Yes, come.
There's a Vietnamese restaurant called
Come closer.
Come closer. Tell it to the audience.
There's a Vietnamese restaurant called Bun.
Oh, that's really nice as well. Yeah, that's the Volksstraat,
So-
I think. Yeah. True.
And then there's Il Carpaccio.
So they're all on vegified.com, right?
yeah.
Vegified.com. Go now. Yeah.
You're welcome, Priyanka. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I know. We still need to get drinks.
And I also like in the chats, all the compliments for Johnny, but remember my feelings as well. It doesn't hurt to give me a compliment as well on my clothes. So just saying, yeah, okay.
Gin is good.
Yeah, it's really good, huh? I need to taste it.
Yes. The gin is good. Just for the people in the chat, what are you drinking? Give us something to work with. This is also our first time.
I also like the quote from Echo Birdie, like, Antwerp is really small, but Antwerp is creative.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So that's...
It's about quality.
yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Very curious. But where is the logo on that sweater? Yes, Mika. The logo is right here. Wait, can you see it right above my nipple? So there, so. Yeah. That's the start. Oh shit! I lost my nipple. I'll be right back.
On which nipple is it? The third one?
Damn it!
It's good I can laugh with my own jokes. Yeah. So I think, let me see, where is Leuven? Indeed, Dirk, good question. Good question.
The rest is parking. Yes, thank you, Julie. So I'm just gonna dig in on those chocolates, right?
Okay, let's try it one.
Yeah.
Let's try one.
So orange and sea salt and granola.
And we have vanilla and what's the other one?
Yuzu and black rice and vanilla and quinoa.
What's yuzu?
I don't know.
Maybe we should try that one.
Yeah, but let's wait for it to be off camera, because otherwise it's going to... It's also very interesting, I'm quite sure, for the people at home.
All right. So for now, we have a very, very special guest right now. She's the first female fashion designer in space, Jasna Rock.
I thought it almost sounds like you are calling me from the ISS station with this delay.
I am. It's Antwerp. Wi-Fi is new here. Yeah, we need a techie in the room, but there's no techie in a startup environment, as you know. Nobody can. So we're gonna help ourselves. We're gonna see what happens. Smart city. Oh God. Yeah. So, but let's go back to the beginning where it all started for you, Jasna. You didn't get in the normal way. You never get in somewhere in the normal way. So we found actually a small video clip with you on stage. So let's take a look. So tell me, what does that video reminds you of? Bring back memories?
Yeah, beautiful memories. That's true.
And you, so you're actually combining fashion, tech, science. So explain maybe in 1 or 2 minutes what is Jasnarok all about.
Well, of course, indeed, Jasna Rock is the first Belgian fashion and technology lab where we create speculative concepts for future applications. So I like to travel the world spreading my vision, curate exhibitions, and host masterclasses on the future of cross-industry innovation, where I use fashion as my interface to the future. And as you know, Lode, what I love the most is build really big projects with international companies and fly to the moon one day.
Is that actually a project you're working on? Actually going to the moon because you went at NASA. So tell me, how did you end up in NASA, and how far is that step from actually going to space?
Well, indeed, as you said, I don't get in the normal way. So one day when I was sitting at my startup office, I received an email of the Chief Innovation Officer of NASA asking me if I wanted to come to give a keynote for a very special event at NASA where they gather the VPs and CEOs of companies like Google, Tesla, Disney, Sony Pictures. And there I spoke with the CTO asking him, so what do you do for mental well-being in space? And how does like the next generation of spacesuits looks like? And he really looks at me, he's like, And the dress that you just saw in this video was worn by one of the NASA engineers. And he was like, okay, you have to come back. We need to talk with each other. So of course I went back a second time, and now just before Corona, it was my fourth time at NASA discussing how the future of space will look like and future space communication. So yes, we are working on that, and it's my personal goal one day to fly up to the moon wearing an emotional intelligent garment and be a pioneer in interplanetary emotional transfer. Hopefully not with a delay, because we will have Nokia working on the whole Wi-Fi system and architecture. So they should fix that kind of problems we have here today, right?
Yeah, because you worked for Nokia Labs actually when you were still in the Boerentoren, the Farmers Tower. Eh?
Yes.
And so, but what did you do for them?
Well, indeed, when I was still in started, I started my adventure with Nokia Bell Labs. It's now 3 years that I'm an artist in residence for them. And they asked me, okay, how does the future look like? And what has fashion to do with the future of communication? Well, fashion can be a new way of communicating with ourselves and others through, for instance, using your brainwaves and displaying that in garments that can change color and form. So I've created a vision where we showcase this future of communication. And it resulted in my latest work, which is called Reconnect, and which was picked up by NASA and then launched in their museum last February.
Great. You know, whenever we talked a little bit before, and I told you that when I refer to you, I think that you must be the most amazing person I know, building up her own brand without actually investing a single euro in it. So maybe you could tell the viewers how did you do that, and how do you keep up at the weirdest places as the first, not only Belgian, but probably the first Gerardsbergian ever? So how do you do that? How do you hustle your way in?
Lode, this is so funny. You're actually the second person who's asking me that question today, so I actually never thought about it. So I think, first of all, to answer that question, I will give an answer on the broader perspective. And then in the meanwhile, we spoke today, I just wrote down some practical examples and advice. So here we go. I think, first of all, there is a difference in branding for a company that only sells services or products and between personal branding, which Yazarok is, of course. And I think today, more than ever, everything is about the value and as well, specifically the emotional value. I mean, with COVID-19, we've all rethinking our values, and everything is about connection and emotions. This has always been my strategy as well to really create emotional value and emotional content. And as you said, you if you think of me, you think of craziness, and that's, I think, what I do. I come up with the most impossible ideas, and then first of all you think, okay, that's never going to happen, it's never going to work in real life, but then in the end I succeed on building them and making them working in real life. So I think there are a few facts that are triggering international press to pick up my work. It's the fact that I'm able to visualize how the future will look like, and at the same time scientifically back it, turning into lifelike experiences so everybody can experience it. Also working across industries, like working with the telecom, with the car industry, with the space industry. I'm building bridges between those industries. And then, of course, international collaborations, because it gets picked up much easily or much better. And I think it's also the kind of magic to make very complex ideas visible in understandable ways for a larger audience. And I think you have to zoom out and make sure that you have a bigger picture. And that's the strategy I'm always using. Like, every project is a Lego stone towards that bigger vision I want to reach in the future. So I think that's like a bigger perspective.
Well, usually my last question is, what will the 2021 bring you? But of course, 2021 for you is probably like 10 years ago. So what will 2056 bring you?
Well, I hope a trip to the moon and doing the first crazy opera concert somewhere in space where we visualize the brainwaves of the opera singer in real time.
I wish you all the best with that. I'll always be a fan. All the best in Portugal, where you are. So yeah, I wish you all the best. Thank you for being
Thanks
here.
for inviting me on your show. It was amazing. Thank you, Lode. Mwah.
All right, bye bye. Tada, Dicken.
You're the one.
Yes. So, from outer space back to reality here in this beautiful Antwerp. Welcome, Koen. Welcome, Jean-Louis. Jean-Louis, you are the founder of Skybase, and actually we Googled it as well, and we then find some pictures and that's first of all this one, and the other one is this one. So I assume you're not doing stuff with Fortnite. So
Correct.
yeah, well, yeah, would be great, but so as we do, we give you 60 seconds to pitch who you are and what Skybase is doing from go.
Skybase is supporting asset owners in industry, energy, and infrastructure with their by managing their critical assets, by doing drone inspections and the development of asset management platforms. And I will give you an example. In the port of Antwerp, for ship-to-shore cranes in a container terminal, we are developing an asset management platform at this moment. Today, data capture is done by alpinists, which is dangerous and complex, and will be done in the future by drones, which is safer and more coherent. And the data management is done in a very decentral, in a diffuse way, and will be done in the future in a more coherent and better way, supported by artificial intelligence. So let's say by using these technologies, it's easier, safer, and cheaper.
Okay.
Time is up.
So actually, what today alpinists, so mountain climbers, are doing to inspect cranes, to inspect constructions, you can do in the future with drones and even remote. We're going to come back to that later, but I understand correctly, right?
Yeah.
All right. So you actually have a drone. You're going to show it. It's going to fly and it's going to do stuff.
It's over here.
Okay. Yeah. There. Right.
Yeah.
Can we film? We have.
Can put it in front of the
that?
camera.
Tjaka, miljard. Maar zo'n ding ook. Cool. Koen, I looked you up, of course, and you describe yourself as a world traveling consultant, an author, a photographing documentarist, early born millennial, digital nomad, and an environmentalist. So I tried this for several times. It's the first time I can actually pronounce the word environmentalist in one time. So that's a mouthful, right? You're also an expert on the future ways of working, a mentor at our startup community. But then yesterday you posted this. So what does this actually tell us on the future way of working?
That as much as we can be dependent on technology, and especially when we're far away from people who can support us with it, life sometimes gets very confusing on the moments we can't miss a second in the start of a day.
Yeah, and that's actually, I think that's Microsoft, right? So they decide when you will update your computer.
It is, and when I can work and cannot work. That's in comparison to the other guys who just take my credit card and keep on pushing money out of that. So it's a choice. I carry both of them with me, by the way, on my travels.
Great. I'm going to give you 60 seconds as well to pitch yourself. So go.
So thank you. So yes, I'm Koen. I'm a traveling consultant, as you said it, because we needed a name for it. I'm actually operating on the crossroads between business alignment on the one hand and technology. After 20, 30 years in consulting, there is still a misalignment. And especially when we look at startups, people with bright ideas don't always have the technology knowledge, and people who know technology don't always know how to market it, how to bring it to people, how to bring it to money. And for whatever reason, I found myself on that crossroads. Fortunately, that allowed me to start traveling, which then makes me a traveling consultant and then a digital nomad. And basically that allowed me to also combine some adventure in there. And then when you take a camera to Antarctica on a sailboat, or you go following grizzly bears in Alaska, then all of a sudden you're a documentarist. And by what you see, you have to become an environmentalist because nothing cannot touch you what you see.
Wow. Even a mentor can pitch within 1 minute.
That's really good.
That's really
the first time ever that I succeed.
Yeah,
so
that's great, huh?
Yeah.
Good. Well, so we're going to talk about something that combines you both. It's actually the future way of work. You also do that for SD Works. But I wanted to talk to you because you send us a mail saying, I really want to explain the 3DT technology.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to know what that is, but I am a digital dummy. Well, okay, let's say I'm a digital dummy or a techie dummy. Could you explain it to a techie dummy like me what that actually means?
I will try that.
Okay.
DT3 means drone technology, data technology, and digital transition. So over here we have the drone, the camera on the drone. What we see in the market, in our market, are two trends. We have like the business wave and we have the technology wave. So the business wave means that we have aging assets like industrial installations, bridges, chimneys, all that kind of stuff. Those assets are built in the 70s, 80s, and are old and have to be inspected according to the applicable law of today. That's one challenge. The other challenge is the brain drain. A lot of knowledge, like asset knowledge, inspection knowledge, is in the head, is in people's minds. And when people are changing jobs or retire, the knowledge is gone in the company. So when we use the drone technology and the data technology, we can solve this problem. And the goal of our company is to lead and to help companies towards this digital transition, and that means the DT3.
Okay, nice. I think that's rather common, and not only in the drone technology. You have that everywhere in digital transition.
Yeah.
Great. And also we talked a little bit before, and you said you had like a funny story or a special story about how the company was founded and how you found your team.
Yeah.
Co-founders?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, actually I started with my brother-in-law. He's a drone specialist. His name is Tom Verstappen. A bit before the corona. Yeah. And we said like, yeah, only the two of us is not complementary enough as a founders team. So yeah, we were in the middle of corona and we had to meet other founders. And he knew like two brothers, two engineers. And we met them by video conference. And after 2-3 video conferences, we said like, okay, this is feeling good on a virtual way. So let's meet in real, but we were in lockdown. So we had to find a solution and we planned like a meeting hike in a nature resort. And we were like walking and talking and like getting to know each other. And at a certain time during lunch, we came at a tree. We arrived at a tree. And we had lunch, and there we decided to work together to sign the marriage, and to dive into the deep and to start a company. So that's the story of the tree. So from now on, it's a tradition, and next year in April we will hike again, and hopefully the next coming years.
It sounds like a love story. It's like you didn't marry your brother-in-law because that would be weird. Okay, yeah,
Hopefully not.
great.
We have someone dying over here.
It was just a joke.
There's a joke on the chat from Jurgen. We have to interrupt. Sorry, guys.
I'm just dying.
So a man walks into a bar, and all customers patted him on the backside, and they asked, well, "What sort of bar is this?" And they said, "It's a tapas bar." He's dying.
Okay, so let's. God damn it! Yeah. Okay, so Jem and Johnny had a little bit too much of gin tonic already. We're gonna come back to you later. No, so the thing that was connecting you both was the future way of work. That's actually the link that we saw. So you say you are a digital nomad, right? But what does that actually mean for you?
Yeah, it's a term that comes with some weight already, even though it's only been in use for the last 10-something years. If you go to the bulletin boards of the digital nomads who call themselves digital nomads, there is already a huge fight on who is and who is not part of the elite of digital nomads. For me, the title, and we'll get back to the definition in a second, the title doesn't matter so much. It could be people who work location independent.
From a tapas bar?
From a tapas bar, absolutely. People who, I'd rather call them transnationals, but then again, that word has been hijacked by some Belgian politicians. In the rest of the world, I can still use it, but in Belgium, I have to be very careful not to choose either side with that. Digital nomads, in its beginning, is people who are able to use the technology to still perform the job they were doing, but from wherever they want to do it. The first to start becoming digital nomads were mostly people in marketing and content creation, bloggers, for example, who were like, why should I write the blog in Ghent when I can do it in Antwerp? And so they started traveling all over the place and found themselves in locations. And later on, more and more people start to figure out that the job they did, with or without knowledge of their employer, because I've met tons of digital nomads in the past 5 years when I was traveling around to meet them. Often digital nomads were traveling without the knowledge of their business owners or their bosses, because they were working remote anyway. And so digital nomads in themselves became kind of a community with their own hypes. You're not a digital nomad if you haven't spent time in Chiang Mai. That city has more digital nomads than actual inhabitants, which creates new problems. But digital nomads basically took advantage of the new technology, took advantage of being able to connect from anywhere, to actually take their job with them and to combine a life of travel with their work.
Yeah, and you're actually doing something with pilots. Like it's not only pilots that could operate drones from home. You go one step further.
Yeah, actually, we're developing a project with the autonomous drone, like the RoboMow, your mowing robot in your garden. What we see in the future is that the job of drone operator will disappear for a part, and that it will be done automatically with like a central control room somewhere in the country, like the control room, the traffic room of Zaventem airport, for example. So we will face a huge challenge to digitalize the process and to come towards this autonomous drone technology, but it will come, and I think very soon, in the coming 5 years.
So should drone pilots now be looking for another job?
Some of them do, yeah. I think we only need the best drone pilots to do the very hard missions in the chemical industry, for example, oil and gas, that kind of missions. But like the easy missions will be done in the future by software technology.
Yeah. Okay, so we're gonna blur your face because if some drone pilots are watching, that they can't find you, all right?
Yeah, any security.
He's not in Antwerp. Right. So for this Thirsty Thursday, people are watching from home. People are working from home. How will this pandemic, in your view, affect our work in longer term? What do you see as well, like for example in SD Works or the job that you do, or what did you see changing and what change will continue?
Yeah, amongst the clients that I work with and the nomads and people that I talk about this, there's a couple of things happening for me. First of all, I think we should make a difference between what we now have experienced as, and we call work from home, is in no way related to what actually remote work should be. And what remote work looks like in other companies that have been building a DNA of working remote. By which I mean, first of all, it's not enough to give everybody a laptop and an internet connection to be a company that can work remote. There's a whole lot more in processes, procedures behind it. But even more important, when I follow on Twitter conversations in Belgium right now, it's about, working from home is so bad because the kids are here, the dogs is here, and I can't see my colleagues, which I think once we get through this pandemic, we should look at what is it to work remote and stop narrowing it to working from home, especially working from home in the setting that we have been used to in the past 9 months, just now before us.
I think they're already here for you.
Antwerp.
That's the drone guys. But I think even more important is all those companies that now have been so proud that they could find 2,000 laptops in a couple of weeks and spread them out. I mean, last week with the Standard, there was a whole bunch of people telling how good they were in distributing laptops. But I think they failed, or some of them failed, to go the one step further. If you want to be remote, you have to start thinking asynchronous. And I think that's one of the two elements that will be the future of work when it comes to working remote. Why do we have a meeting culture in this country, in New York where I live, we have a meeting culture. And if you're going to start working remote, you have to rethink that culture, and you have to be thinking like, what is it that we need to do together, and what is it that we can do objective-based? Can I tell somebody, whether it's objective key results or whatever methodology that's used, I want you, by the end of the week, to have finished a certain part of your job. And once management start to trust, because that's where the problem lies, people who work from them to achieve that, we give them the freedom to organize their work, to find their way, to step on a plane as soon as possible again and go to Chiang Mai to become a real digital nomad, or stay at home, or even go to the office. And we'll find the moments that we want to work synchronously, but async has to be the default way of organizing a company in order to survive working remotely. And synchronous is what we do when we need to be. I mean, this is a synchronous meeting, but everything that went on to prepare it was asynchronous. I didn't have to be on a call with anybody here that did it. We found other ways to make sure that today we at least knew more or less what was coming our way. So I think async is key number one in order to succeed in working remote. And the second one, especially for people who are in growing companies, and fortunately there are tons of startups in growth mode, scale-ups, the war on talent and recruitment is changing. Why should somebody be 20 miles away from your church bell tower? You need somebody with the good skills that's available in the right time zone. That means for us, from a Belgian perspective, anybody in South Africa, anybody in Ukraine, anybody who works more or less in our time zone or is able to be available in our time zone when we need those scarce synchronous moments, is actually somebody who could work for us, which opens the pool of talent to people who did not have access to it before. But again, it requires to think of a company as a remote async company, because it doesn't work if you just take your meeting culture and hope that the guy in Ukraine will spend 6 hours a day in front of his screen watching what you have to tell him.
Yeah, well, we saw it actually, and we think it's part of Corona, or the Corona pandemic, that we never had so many people, so many startups apply. So it actually, normally we grow with 10% per wave. Now it was like 30%. And so what we think part of the reason would be is that people who are in traffic for 1 hour and a half up, 1 hour and a half down, suddenly they stay at home, they have 3 hours more, and then they say, well, why am I even doing this? I'm at home, I can see my kids more, right? So why am I even doing this? So I think that, like you guys say, probably a lot more freelancers, freelance work, independent, people working for 2-3 companies at the same time, having a startup on the side. That would be things that would be the future of work, I think. And there's a lot of talent out there. I'm super convinced by that.
Yeah, definitely is. The one thing that is going to require is also in the freelance relationship. Currently, most freelance relationships are based on the amount of days you do, the amount of hours you do. If you want to work async and objective-based, you're going to have to rethink that, maybe without becoming a new gig economy. But why do I hire a freelancer? That's to get a certain result, and then define the result, define the value, and then make an agreement. Because otherwise, you're going to end up not boring one person, but basically boring 3 people for the same job, because now 3 people are distributing their job amongst them.
Yeah, true. So what's the future bringing for you guys? I just got Lisbeth who pointed the finger like this, so that means that we got 1 minute. So what does the future bring for you? What will it bring for you?
I think 2021 for us is the development of our asset management platforms. We are building 2 asset management platforms, like our SaaS solution. And I think that's the most important thing for us next year. So that brings the future.
Okay, you? Another travel, another big trip?
Absolutely. Another slow trip, because airplane travel becomes more complicated, and after sailing in the south and going by train from London to Singapore. I need to find another slow trip. But I think the most important achievement I want to get somewhere in the first quarter of 2021. I've been writing the last couple of years based on what I learned from digital nomads, and I'm now converting into a book what digital nomads can teach business owners in working remote, and so that should be out early next year.
Okay, we'll have some books to buy then. We have to buy books from Dieter, books from you, books from everyone. I'm writing one myself. It's never going to finish. So we're going to the end now, unless you guys want to say...
yes, indeed.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the end.
This is the end.
Oh, this is the end.
The end, my friend.
So I would like to thank everyone.
Yeah.
I would like to thank everyone.
Yeah, you can do that as well.
You also want to thank everyone?
Yeah, maybe just a few.
Maybe you start, we finish.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to thank everyone except from the ones you're going to thank.
Yes.
So I'm going to thank everyone, especially my guests for being for being here. Also, thank you, Christophe, for putting this together. Christophe is there. Can somebody film the guy? Yeah, turn the camera or something. So yeah. And also thanks Jim and Johnny for being yourself.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you all for watching. Super glad that you were all with us tonight. I cannot see you guys, but I think you're smiling and drinking and having a ball. Whoop, whoop. And if not, well, we did. So we're gonna eat some cool pizza, and then so grab yourself another drink and join one of the breakout rooms. So there should be breakout rooms on the left, and then you have to click, and then you can break out in a room with other people. So. Jim and Johnny are gonna thank you again, so
Yes.
and then you can go to the breakout room.
Yeah.
Up to you guys.
Thank you, and for Koen, special hellos from Davy van der Vijver at Flow Pilots, ICT Woman of the Year. No, not for you. No, sorry.
All right.
Sorry, not sorry.
No, and indeed, I hope you enjoyed this evening, and let's see each other in the breakout rooms just after this. So thank you very much.
And see you next time.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.